Howdy, Banger pals. Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. This week, talking about something that might seem to fall a little outside my normal zone. Let's have a listen. Yes, it's the new record from Tyr called Battle Ballads, coming out this Friday, April 12th on Metal Blade Records. Formed in 98, Tyr are basically the band from Faroe Islands, which is weird because I just reviewed Hamferth, who are like the number 2 band from Faroe Islands. They've got quite a lot of Viking metal under their belt at this point, with this being their 9th release. And yeah, you might be surprised to see me reviewing this, but I really love the Tyr records I have. I got to see them at a super intimate venue in Toronto called Sneaky D's back in 2010 when they still did concerts instead of just put on dance parties. Another venue in the ground, RIP. It was a real standout show in my concert going time, and when I heard the single Hammered, I was like, oh my god, Tyr are back. I'm sorry, this is starting to sound a bit like a review, so let me get into the review as your number one banger reporter from everything going on in the Faroe Islands. As I was saying, when I first heard single Hammered, which is a fun little double entendre for us drinkers, I was really excited to review the record. I actually jumped on the opportunity because I might not have done the best job of keeping up with Tyr since By the Light of the Northern Star, but like the Simpsons reference up top, Viking metal bands feel like something you can check in on occasionally and not much will have changed, but that's kind of what you want. And that's definitely how the album starts. Hammered and Unwandered Ways sound exactly like you'd expect Tyr to sound post Northern Star. I'm not saying the full album name in this review anymore, including that Tyr da 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 kind of thing that they always do. That's mostly the same on Dragons Never Die in typical Tyr fashion. It's got a big chorus. Having choruses down is sort of their thing. It's tipping well over into power metal at this point, but I like power metal, so who cares? I just want to warn you. The verses, on the other hand, in this track are pretty basic and boring, but I think if I did the math on this song for how much time they take up, it would be oops, all choruses anyways. So listen to the verse, thumbs down, but then the chorus, thumbs up in the clip. Bop. So yeah, first 3 songs sound like Tyr. We know what's going on here, right? Wrong! Fortunately, I kind of feel like I got the old switcheroo pulled on me with this album, and I probably wouldn't have been so keen to review it if they released some of these other songs as singles. Ugh. The first sign of trouble is track 4's intro. Row sounds like a new metal song at the start. They throw it away pretty quickly and never go back to it at all, so it was a bit of a horror movie. What was that? Oh, nothing. It's still safe. Let's continue spelunking in this cave. But then, underground horrors. At best, it's Hangman's sickly sweet symphonics that make my teeth hurt worse than a movie theater-sized bag of Sour Patch Kids and an over-reliance on woes. At mid, it's a mid-tempoed album closer that is easily the worst closer on a Tyr album and a far cry from Northern. Yes, that title is getting shorter and shorter every time I say it. And at worst, well, I have 2 sections left. Each song I hate has something like particularly stupid about it in its own unique and beautiful way. Unfortunately, the album isn't quite out yet, so I can't play you any unreleased tracks, but when it comes out, please go and listen to track 6 called Whatever the Hell This Is. It'll be on the screen. I can't pronounce that. It sounds like some hard rock graduation song. It starts building, and when it comes in double time, I can see the credits scroll at the end of the movie, and we learn all the heroes went on to get good jobs, and all the bullies went on to get their just dues.
Don't you
encouraging you all to have the time of your lives at college, accruing crippling student debt that will follow you your entire life. Capitalism. Fortunately, I can play you Axes, which has a similar thing going on, but in a different way. It sounds a bit like that, but it sounds a little bit more like a rhythm game song. Like it's a sped up church hymn vibe to it. It's hard to articulate if you never spent time in like an Asian arcade, but as the song's going on, a bunch of the notes feel like they're in there so that there's more buttons I have to press to get a higher score and for it to be harder than to make a good song. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? But the gravest sin of all comes smack dab in the middle of the record. Track 5 is called whatever that says. I'm already butchering their album in the review. I probably shouldn't butcher their language too. It's just a black hole in the middle of an already confused record that kneecaps any momentum or energy that could have helped carry us through this strange time. This makes the duet with Leaves His Eyes' singer, The Lay of Our Love from Valkyria, seem like an absolute crusher. It's the longest track on the record, and the overwhelming majority of it is just some very simple acoustic guitar strumming and vocals. Eventually, a tiny bit of sweepy orchestrals come in, and it just goes on like this. And on and on and on and on and on. The track is 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Drums come in at 3 minutes and 26 seconds. What the hell? Maybe if it was an album closer, fine, but it's perfectly in the middle of the record. To complete all the weird vibes I've been listing for each of these songs, it's real first dance at your Viking-themed wedding metal. Nah. The only saving grace is that it is in Faroese, so at least, you know, there's something compelling about it in that, and I can't tell what they're actually singing because it's probably fucking Happy Birthday based on the way the track sounds. An insane amount of great records are coming out this month, and this one is not it. But if you want to hear about some of the great ones, head on over to Patreon. We have a Patreon campaign, so I don't have to sell you anything here but myself. Just a little oldest profession in the world in the middle. I'm making a new video over there exclusive to Patreon. I make it every week. I make it myself in Adobe Premiere, so you get to watch a child fumble through a adult's editing program. I'm having fun. People seem to enjoy it. Couple of bucks. Don't need to sell you anything here. Seems like a fair deal, right? Huh? This was a very unfortunate trip down memory lane for me. I got sucked in by a single sounding like the Tear that I knew and loved, and instead I got a very confused, disjointed, and I must stress, basic record. Everything is just so simple, and I don't know why. I dwelled on the funnier things wrong with the record, because it's more fun to say the stuff I did than say, like, yeah, it's just basic, it's boring, it's dumbed down, it's simple, there's not a lot going on here, and I don't know why. Viking metal sells. They did not need to do this. It's just a completely toothless wolf gnawing at my ankle. It's a bad power metal record, and I was so bewildered by it. I did something I never do, which is I went to Reddit to be like, hey, has anyone heard this? I'm going to see if I can find some posts, take the temperature, and I found a couple fans who had gotten the record at shows, and they expressed disappointment with it as well. These are people that said they paid for VIP meet and greets that aren't on board. They're public posts, you can go look at them. So if they're disappointed and I'm disappointed, I'd say buyer beware. 2.5 out of 5 Viking skulls that are skulls because they are dead because they're very bored. Whew, yeah, I mean, you can let me know what you think down below. Please make sure you let me know what you think after the album comes out. Like I said, I listened to the singles and I was like, hey, then I listened to the record. Chat with me down below, let me know. But their video's not done. Of course, I don't have to just get worked up. Man, I said I was saving my bile for deicide. I guess I lanced a boil today. Regardless, the boil is lanced. Let's talk about some music that gets me excited. It's shoutouts time. So I have 3 shoutouts for you. The first is a Japanese anime power metal band. I don't know. It's not quite on Bandcamp yet because you know how Japan releases things, but the album comes out on the 10th, so I imagine it'll go up then. They're called Elfson. The album's called Zenith. It's an independent release. It found it on my stream, twitch.tv/metal comedy. As a reminder, I find all my records there. It was a lot of fun. I was pretty happy. And then 2 Metal Monthly alumni are also releasing albums this week. Heavy Temple are releasing Garden of Heathens on Magnetic Eye, and Vulture are releasing Sentinels on Metal Blade Records. 2 awesome records, 2 fun, full, powerful records that you can, not power records, but you know what I mean, that you can listen to and yeah, go conquer the day.